Well, it's quite surprising that I haven't done one of these on the channel since I started YouTube. But anyway, with that said, what's up guys? My name is techgeekjosh and you're watching my Apple iPod collection for February 2018. And these are literally all the iPods that I own as of when this video is being recorded. And I will go over each one of them, tell you if they work or not, and what is wrong with them, if anything. So let's start up here. This is the Apple iPod Touch first generation, 8GB. Very first Apple iPod Touch. You can see right here if the camera will focus properly. It's an 8GB. It's in pretty rough shape, as you can see how scratched up the back is. iPod Touch that changed it all. As you can see, mine does have a pressure crack. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. That's a pressure crack. And as you'll see here, it fully functions. And this one was dead. It was in storage until just a couple minutes ago that I decided to charge it for this video. Now you can obviously see that big old round circle on the screen, but that does not hinder it in any way, shape, or form. Still functions just like it would have back in the day when it came out. As for the iOS it's running, it is running, no, not Wi-Fi. It is running iOS 3.1.3. Capacity 7.1 gigabytes. Available is only 6.8. I do have 32 photos on here, which unfortunately I cannot get off. I cannot delete it. As you'll see right here, all these photos are on here, not a single video. However, so that's my only problem. I think I tried to reset it via iTunes. It still wouldn't work. But anyway, it works 100%. Everything's functional on it. iPod that changed it all. I'll put that to the side. Let's move on. Next we have the Apple iPod Touch second generation. Now this one, out of the old generations, this is probably the best looking one because it has a screen protector on it. If you can see that right down there and right up there. This is a 8GB as well. See right there. Pretty shiny, as you can see, still in somewhat decent condition. But nothing wrong with it at all. I also decided to charge this one up before this video. As you'll see right there. This one, however, is running iOS 4.2.1. As you will see right here. 4.2.1. 6.8 gigabyte capacity, 6.6 available. Only 3 applications, no songs, no videos, and no photos. This one's probably the best condition one out of the old generations that I own. You'll see I only have those 3 apps right there. Pandora, Spotify, and Messenger. Next, we got a unfortunately broken iPod Touch, or Apple iPod Touch, third generation, 32GB. This one's probably going to be a little tougher to see, but trust me, it is there. Can you make that out? Just very, very noticeable. Right there, 32GB. Pretty scratched up, unfortunately. Doesn't bother me really too much. As you can see, the main crack is right here, right by the home button. But nope, that does not function, or that does not hinder it in any way. This thing is running iOS 5.1.1, so that's pretty cool. Since this is a 32GB and on iOS 5.1.1, these are my apps on it. Pause to look at them if you so choose. Go over here. We'll show you right here. Version 5.1.1. Capacity 28.4 gigabytes. Available is 27.4 gigabytes. And only 9 applications. No videos, no songs, no photos. This was the first generation iPod that can actually change the home screen wallpaper. Previous generations before the third gen cannot do so because they don't have too powerful, or the graphics processor isn't too powerful for that. I think if you not root, that's for Android, but if you jailbreak it, you probably can get a wallpaper on the old generations. But I think it makes it just a whole lot slower. So this third gen is the first Apple iPod to feature wallpaper customization on the home screen. But as you can see, with that crack, everything functions, even the home button. And this is also the first iPod to feature multitasking like so. Good old days. And that's pretty much it. Everything works on this thing. Nothing wrong with it at all. Next, we have yet another third generation. This one is in cosmetically better condition, as you can see. Not cracked down here. 32 gigabyte as well. Not the best lighting. You can see I have a light right over there, just like normal. But trust me, it is a 32 gigabyte. Cosmetically in better shape. But this one, unfortunately, does not work correctly, I should say. Oh, come on, it was just on before this video. I'm pressing the power button. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and force restart it, or force start it if we can. I'm actually holding the power button and the home button like this. It looks weird, but don't mind that. So it's not wanting to power on for whatever reason. With that said, hold on a minute. Pardon that pause, but I just went, plugged it in for a quick second, and this is what I mean. It's stuck on the iTunes logo. And trust me when I say this, I've tried everything I could. I even tried restoring the software on iTunes because I actually have an old Vista computer and it's iTunes is compatible for it, and it just died, as you just saw. But it's stuck on the iTunes screen. It keeps giving me an error that says like cannot restore iPod due to an unknown error, just a random error I can't really remember, but it just gives me errors every time I try and restore it. But I would love for this thing to work properly, trust me, other than the other one I previously showed you. But everything on it is just fine, presumably, except that it doesn't technically work, but it does work, if you know what I mean when I say that. The next one is basically my only white Apple iPod Touch that I own. It's a white 4th generation 8 gigabyte iPod Touch. This thing is in mint condition. Normally it's not this dirty in the back. It is scratched obviously, but it's not this dirty. I can lick my fingers and go ahead and try and get some of this stuff off, even though I just did so before this video, but let's see if that makes much more of a difference. Not so much. It's slightly cleaner. You can see a little dent if I put it over my head, my hair. You can see that little dent up there. Pretty shiny. You can see 8 gigabytes. iPod. First iPod to feature a camera in the rear. And this is also a very thin iPod. I love this one. I love the white 4th generation Apple iPod Touch. Unfortunately, this thing is water damaged, believe it or not. Old friend of mine water damaged it for no apparent reason, probably because he was jealous or something of the sort. I never really knew, and well, it's over with. And this happened like years and years ago, at least, what, 5 or so years ago? This thing is completely dead. Considering how nice it looks, it just does not want to show any life. And I kid you not when I say this, it has been in rice for like 5 years. Yes, 5-year rice basically. And I just pulled it out before this video to like clean it off of the rice residue on the back. Or to say it better, this thing has been in a bowl of rice for like 5+ years. And yes, the rice is like 5 years old, so. But with that said, it just does not show any life whatsoever, which is a real shame because I love this generation iPod. Next to it, now funny thing is, this one was also water damaged by the same person. This is the Apple iPod Touch 5th generation 16 gigabyte, but not just any one. This one does not have the rear camera up here or the loop. I remember buying this thing Christmas 2014 or 2015. I have it posted on my Facebook. I'm not sure when I bought this thing, but my uncle gave me the money to buy it, and quite a while after I bought it, the same person water damaged it. And this thing, I kid you not, again, is in pristine condition, other than the fact that the insides are just all messed up and just doesn't work. Very thin, but still very awesome. The last time I checked, don't mind that on my hand, same marking as previous videos. But the last time this thing worked, I kid you not, I keep saying it, I'm sorry, but this thing was running iOS 7.0.4. I think that's the last version that it ran before the person damaged it. No joke, 7.0.4 is the last iOS version that it runs, or that it ran, or probably still does run technically. And now it's obviously upgradable to iOS 9, but not iOS 10. It's a shame, but I have to deal with it. Nearing the end, we have yet another iPod Touch 5th Gen 16GB, but this one is different because this one has the camera up here and the iPod Touch loop, and it's in this new color. I think this is called Slate. Wait, no, this is not Slate. This is Space Gray, I think, for the iPod Touch line. You can see that it's slightly dented down here. Right here, if you can't see what I'm talking about, slightly dented. The metal portion is dented in at the top, which made the screen slightly come up a little bit, but not too far off to where it'll like come off. Home button. Oh wait. My mistake. I kind of spoiled the next one. This is a 32GB 5th Gen iPod Touch. My mistake. The home button on this one is broken. It's like just flush and has no click to it whatsoever. The power button on this one is really hard to press. You really have to like put a lot of force into turning it on. It's apparently dead, but you just have to put a lot of force on the power button, and if you saw, my finger was turning red. But other than that, now this one is either iCloud locked or it's actually the next one that's iCloud locked. I can't really remember. So it is what it is. No real damage to the screen. Everything works. And last but not least, this one is a 16GB iPod Touch. Obvious screen damage up there. You can basically see the insides of it. No dents down here. Home button clicks and power button clicks. Everything works on it considering the screen damage. I don't know if it's going to show up well on camera, but you guys tell me. Is this thing bent? Because if you look towards the top up here, it looks bent. I don't know why that is, but same color, same exact everything, but this is just a 16GB one with screen damage. But the actual screen is fine, like it responds to touch and everything. Same loop, same camera, and by the way, these loops actually do work. They pop out and whatnot. Will this one turn on or show life of any sort? Probably not, because it's been setting for a while. No, it doesn't look like it. But anyway, with that said, I would like to thank all you guys for watching my iPod Touch collection for February. Yes, I say that very weirdly, but February 2018, and I will see you in the next video.